Hi, welcome everybody. Let's call to order the March CAPS meeting at 6 o'clock p.m. JG, can we get a roll call, please?
Andrew Vaughn,
Here.
Stephanie Coffin.
Here.
Terry Smith,
Here.
Liza McKenzie,
Here.
Chris Nunez,
Here.
Artis Levelitz,
Here.
and Councilmember Neil Shaw.
Here. And maybe we'll, since we're doing names, this would be a good time, so we have a couple of high school students here. Could you guys give us, maybe your first name and last initial and, what class you're in and what school?
Austin B. Monarch High School.
Who's your teacher?
Mr. McCoy.
Okay.
Sawyer S, Monarch High School, Mr. McCoy.
Paige S, Mr. McGoy.
And you guys all in the same class? Sorry, yeah. Okay. Yeah, can you guys give us a kind of a description of what kind of the task to do here?
We're supposed to take notes on a meeting and then kind of identify a few problems and like talking points of it.
Okay,
Well, not like problems in like,
it's fine, you'll have to let me know.
and then like create like an action plan on some of like the problems mentioned.
Oh, cool.
Awesome, okay.
Nice.
Okay, so the way the meetings generally work, there is a time for public comment, so if anybody has anything to actually want to say to the committee, you're welcome to do that when we get to public comment, but other than that, generally, it's gonna be the members talking in the meeting, okay? Right, you guys need a photo? Need a photo of yourself with the committee, is that right?
Do
Usually?
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of you have fun?
Yeah.
Want to maybe give that to, Leslie Clark back there in the corner and come up here and do that together.
I can do that.
We're like here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of-
Yeah, we'll do one group photo with all of you. That work?
Come here with us.
We don't fight.
We don't like, well,
Some of us.
Yeah, well, that one does.
Yeah. Cheese, I'll take a few. Excellent. You'll have to share amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
okay. Sorry, would you like to introduce yourself as well, just as a prospective member?
Yeah, my name is Xochiquetza Luna. You can call me Xochi. I live in Superior and I'm here because I would like to see what the committee does and their involvement. So, yeah, I would like to see if I can join.
Yay.
Welcome, thank you for joining us.
You can sit here. Yeah, you can pass it. Yes. You sure?
Yeah.
She heard you bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, she heard I bite.
I know, rabies.
Okay, so hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda by now. Are there any questions, comments, or anything people would like to change or add on the agenda? Okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Motion to approve the agenda as written. Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, do we have an agenda? Do we have any public comments from the room? Anybody want to say anything? Anyone, any online? Fine, that was quick. We'll dive right into our staff updates. Take it away.
So first up is your budget report, and I just wanted to say that if this is a little more updated than what I emailed you on Friday. Because we had, the, Streetwise invoice hit. So,
I can copy that then, that's for sure.
is there another agenda?
Yes. Yeah, they can take a picture.
So just as a reminder, your programming budget of $5,000 is where your film expenses are coming, but with, the guest, I took that just because of it would deplete, so I took it out of your public art acquisition, which isn't the typical, but it was seemed like the best place at the time. But then, so out of the streetwise, it's going to be a schedule of 3 separate payments. First one, I think is 25%, then we go to 50, then the last 25%. So, the next invoice will be split out between multiple budgets, since that's kind of where we are with that. So out of the 25 that CAP's committed to Streetwise Mural Festival, you're already in 16K. All right, so just wanted you to see that.
So contracts are all signed and everything.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep, so we're good to go. So the contract was up to 64,000. We start out with 25%, we go to 50%, and then that last home stretch amount may not be the whole remainder. If it doesn't get used, then we could come in lower, but my guess is that we won't. But
Probably not.
never know. So if you have any questions at all, ever, if you ever want budget report outside of the quarterly times that I bring them to the meetings, just let me know, and I'm happy to send that.
I'll mention, and Judy, maybe I can coordinate with you on this for like maybe a placeholder, but I added up from Chris's spreadsheet, the cost of the remaining films. And that is 2250 out of this remaining 2016, right? And they're not always coming in exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
those
they're not-
costs
They're not coming in with
those
those
are
great stuff,
not-
so,
yeah.
you know, that's a ballpark, right? But
Yeah,
just so that everyone knows that out of this remaining 29, something like 23 is already,
Well, like you said, the costs are not adding up. What's wrong with it?
actually, they're coming in low, but they're not exactly what Chris's spreadsheet is.
So they're coming in lower?
no,
No, they're across the board. Some of them have been higher, some of them have been lower.
it depends on where they're coming from,
Right, okay.
yeah. So,
When you say it depends on where they're coming from, are you talking about the distributor?
yeah,
There should only be 2.
yeah,
Rocco Films and
Like,
yeah, Swike.
and the Rocco seems to be like $200 a pop, where Swank is usually in the 400.
400.
Right.
Is this Porcelain War and Prime Minister were 400 together? Is that true?
There were 200 apiece,
200
but we, they were like, we got them at the same time.
Right.
The receipt was for 400.
Okay, so Chris's spreadsheet has them as 350, which, so I'm adding up his numbers, I expect it to come in
Yeah,
less,
no,
but.
it's great that they're coming in.
And I mostly bring that up, well, first of all, just because this number is not as big as it looks, but also we had talked about stickers and various other things, and that's where.
Swag.
That's where that money's gonna come from.
Yes. Okay.
Well, I mean, unless,
Unless it's infrastructure.
well, if it's public art related, I don't see that would, yeah,
Not gonna split hairs.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, overview of research and possible revision to CAP's resolution. So I think my email I sent, I was hoping that everybody got a chance to read that. You know, just kind of how and why it came about. It was council and mayor driven. Staff, staff is requested to basically do some research and all of that. And it's further down on your, agenda to have a bigger discussion, but for the most part, that overview was provided in the email I sent, but, by all means, you know, if you have any other questions, we can go over them a little bit, but. And I say that because this agenda was created before that email went out, so. So I realize now I provided a pretty detailed overview to you via email. Michaela, do you want to do letter C, advisory group guidebook presentation at next month meeting?
I'll just present some of the highlighted updates to the advisory group guidebook next meeting. We've added about 5 new sections to it. So I'm just gonna take the first 30 minutes of the meeting and just kind of go over it real quick.
Will you have copies for us too?
I will send them out in advance.
Okay.
Yep.
You don't have any printed copies?
No, I'm not gonna print the guidebook this
Love
next round, I'm
that.
trying to be sustainable.
Okay.
I can print you one specially. if
No,
you'd
I
like.
can do it at home.
But I wasn't gonna bound them and make them fancy like the last iterations.
I did like this.
Well, you're one and only, so thank you.
But that should be about 20-30 minutes max, you think?
Yeah, it'll take probably 30 minutes.
Cool.
Just so we know.
Thank you for doing those, by the way.
Yeah.
They are very helpful.
So
Are you guys gonna do the training to go with it this year?
this is kind of the training.
Okay,
So rather than do the big group training,
so you'll wanna come to that,
yeah.
our
I'm
newest
kind of-
members, yeah, okay. Cool.
Next on the agenda is the mural video, which I want to share.
I'm delighted to be here welcoming this new mural into town by Hillary and Susan of Rebel Painting.
I'm Susan Matson, I'm a painter and artist. I work regularly with my partner Hillary, painting in people's homes and in some public places recently, so this is pretty exciting for us.
My name is Hillary Williams and I am a mural artist and a problem solver with paint. So not only murals, but decorative finishes, custom finishes, commissions, anything you can think of to do with paint.
Pat's has done a remarkable job over the past decade bringing public art in many different forms and many different places. This is the latest project that they worked on. Whimsical, bright reflection of the town's coal mining history, as well as an appreciation for the nature that surrounded us.
This one's for the town of Superior. We applied for a commission about a year ago for an underpass mural, and we were excited that the community is putting up funds for this kind of thing, and we're eager to share our work publicly, so it's a good fit. We actually did a little research into the history of Superior and how it began as sort of a frontier town with some coal history.
And so we started with the molecular structure of coal. There's a lot of hexagons in the structure, and so we see in this mural as our foundation.
And we layered that with peony flowers, which represent those early settlers, because this was one of the favorite flowers that they would plant at the entrance to their homestead. And then we got the fox bounding through the scene to bring a lot of joyous movement
And a carefree spirit, also resilience that can survive both in suburban and urban and country areas.
This tunnel has always been, it's pitch dark the minute the sun goes down. And I've always worried coming out of our house, which is right here into Purple Park. It is so much more safe now, so beautiful and so full of life.
Glad to have the opportunity to be working artists in the community and to do that in a public way that people can come by and ask questions and get to witness the process.
Hopefully, it just complements the community and that it's a piece that everybody can enjoy.
That was great. Isn't it great? That is how.
Yeah, that is good.
That's on YouTube now?
Yes, and that's, I was really excited for y'all to see it, but at the same time, it's been a long time coming. You know, obviously you all know that the mural was painted last fall. And just with, I think Ben's schedule has changed, the videographer, I think his schedule has changed. He seems to be not able to get these videos back out very well.
Which is great for them.
Yeah, so happy,
That's a phenomenal.
but definitely longer, and then we kind of missed some opportunities with getting some resident feedback, so we went back to record and Andrew helped, head that up, so we finally got it. And then we have that, and then Nancy, who's our telecaster, who's can't see, but she can hear. So Nancy helped us film Nancy and Andy helped film the pairings of the Philharmonic and the ballet, and as you know, that took us a long time to finally get the permission to be able to publish. And then, Historic Commission, they had a video in the hopper, so it was kind of funny that we had 3 that we were just kind of waiting on, and they were all from last fall.
Yeah.
So I guess right now I'm still working with comms to try to figure out, you know, we need to get this video out.
Yeah, definitely.
But because it's been done for a while, we're just kind of coming up with the right wording to promote it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we will.
It's
but-
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it.
So just know it's coming. They're just trying to come up with, the best angle since the mural's been up for 6 months now.
We have our mural being track signed, maybe there's some synergy for, hey, this thing's coming up, and look at this thing we just did.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, love the video, Ben always does us good on that. Mural Festival admin, I think it's been Leslie, Michaela and I we've just been kind of plugging away with contacts and other details. Is there anything?
Contract sign, we're gonna go over logo stuff, and then, our new comms director is starting next week, and so as soon as she's got her feet slightly wet, we're gonna attack her and, start getting our marketing plan going for the Mural Festival.
Okay.
Keep talking, because I forgot to.
Yeah.
Well, there is
Forgot to get the
another,
logos pulled up.
we have a mural festival, check-in, so I guess we can choose where we wanna get into it.
We'll do it then, because I don't have it pulled up.
And this, Michaela, are you keeping this schedule is really good, it's just, is it getting changed, or are we just?
Now we're still rolling that.
Okay.
Yep, we're good.
So there was the contract was on the council's agenda with some slight updates, and that went through on the consent agenda on Monday with
Yeah,
questions, so.
I know whatever, I was gonna have you explain why you felt like we needed the mural, logo, that's what it was too.
Okay, so I met with the comms team. As you know, we're kind of combining the fall festival with the mural festival, just to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But we wanted to make sure the mural festival really stood out, and since this seems to be the start of something bigger and continual, we wanted to make sure it had its own branding and stood out from the fall festival, which also gets lumped into the summer markets. So comms and I kind of talked and danced around circles and thought it was really important for the mural festival to really get its own branding, its own marketing, its own logo. So while we will kind of cross market and join everything just to take advantage of all the marketing and the finances behind it all, it's definitely gonna have its own resources, and that way it'll make it easier for Streetwise to just market the mural festival in its own as well.
One of the logos, was it the 3rd logo? You have to read it. Was it the 3rd one? That was
It was the one in the middle, yeah.
the middle one with the middle finger?
Yeah,
it's a paint
yeah.
brush.
Yeah,
I found it. You gotta remove that one.
This is why we go through multiple iterations.
Yeah. So we'll go over that.
Yeah, some people see things that others don't.
That was an hour, 1.5 of our meeting last night. Sherry was like, hey, you just did look up. But I appreciated the idea. Yeah, I do. It's, but the positioning was like, unfortunately. Yeah.
So we can go over that,
Yeah,
or do you wanna do it now? We can do it.
yeah, I don't know.
What do you wanna do?
Would it make sense to do it now?
No, let's do it on the work plan, because I think we'll get back to it pretty fast, actually, the rest of these updates, yeah.
And then on this one, Leslie, I may have you chime in a little bit, so this is this is an update on the Hyatt. So I just wanna start out with where we're talking, if you're not all familiar with where it's going, so the Hyatt. Did I do that too much? Don't you do that? So right here. Okay. So.
More or less where the elements was,
Mhm.
put a little back.
So I think most of you are aware that in the past, we've had developer agreements for public art. So that's basically what's going on here. And in some cases, we're very involved and in some cases we're not. So Leslie, I'll let you.
Sure. So when they did the plan development for this area, it called for CAPS to offer their coordination with the art. So it's not necessarily approval, it's kind of loose in there what that is. So the folks that are putting together the Hyatt, they came up with some initial designs. There's 2 mural locations. One is the square one, which will face south towards the athletic field, basically. The other one is long and linear, and will go along the side of the building next to the entrance. So it basically faces the 36 highway, sort of. So they have an artist that they're working with, and they've proposed these 2 designs. Do you have the little description that they wrote up? This one is related to the fire.
Yeah.
So it's a firefighter's helmet with the goggles, and it's, kind of reflective of a resilient community,
Looks like a memorial for a dead fireman.
I totally thought it was ski.
Yeah, I thought it was,
I thought they were ski goggles too.
That, I did it first too,
But no, I get it.
so it'd be great. I knew this one was gonna have some response from you all, and I'm glad to relay that back. I think that's needed.
yeah.
What is the medium? Is it gonna be painted or are they gonna print it on a?
That is an excellent idea.
I don't think they shared that with us, did they? No, they didn't specify.
Because if someone paints it, it's gonna look more artsy, right? If you just print this, it looks like AI with it a little bit.
Maybe AI did.
Okay, yeah, it does look AI may have made it, yeah. But if it's just a template for somebody to actually paint it.
And then the only notation that we got for this long skinny one is that they were gonna add more oranges to it so that it would kind of match this one a little more.
You know what, now that you said that, I'm seeing AI in it.
And is that a positive or a negative?
Yeah.
I think it just is.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a
I'm
negative.
neutral on it.
It's a negative, says Chris.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I think if it's being painted, if someone's using it as a reference, then that's one thing, but
Yeah.
just to take an AI generated.
But that looks dark to me, like they're celebrating or, memorial for the firemen from the fire, which I don't think actually happened, right? We didn't lose an fireman, did we? Okay.
It also just doesn't have a lot of contrast, and so it's kind of hard to see what it is in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even notice the helmet, honestly. I didn't
Yeah.
either, but.
Oh, really?
I just saw the goggles and the flowers.
The goggles just are, I guess for me, the goggles are such a focal point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
And I thought it was a snowboard. I thought my first glance was goggles on the
Some
toes.
on
Yeah.
rocket flowers.
That was exactly-
Flowers. That would be nice too. They could get flowers from Colorado.
well,
I
they
had the
got
ex-
home.
I had the exact same reaction that Drew did.
Yeah. What did you say?
He said he had the same reaction as me, that at first, and you can see the helmet, but at first it would look like goggles sitting on the toe of a snowboard, right? With the
Oh.
Where's the snowboard?
Well, it would be the tip
They
of
would
the bottom.
Rim of the hat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
We don't have to talk about the fire all the time.
No, nothing wrong
That's
with
a
it.
good
It's
point.
just-
And I think that's the kind of feedback we need is to, I think they were trying to recognize
Yeah. Good intentions.
good intentions, but is that what we want? Or would you rather have a snowboard or skis or?
Oh, that would be interesting, actually.
And how much, again, they loosely are looking for caps, so do they want us to give them like a whole new theme, or is it just kind of like a feedback on their ideas? What are those?
I think you can give as much feedback as you want.
In that case, they need to go back and drawing board.
What do you think of the longer one? Does
I like that one.
Seems,
I don't like
less,
that one.
It's divided into exact thirds.
Yeah, it's
Isn't that
two,
part of art?
no,
That's not a good part of art. It's a good part of composition.
Yeah.
If you did an off center.
off center, yeah,
so
I
two
didn't know.
symmetrical?
definitely. Interesting.
Does anybody recognize is that Davidson Mason or Benson?
That's what it looks like.
It looks like Davidson Mason.
It's like a rock.
Actually, trail, you mean?
I think they do with the trail, but not all those flowers. I don't know why. I mean, that's just a lot of flowers.
I think that's the resilience theme again.
I'd rather just see and elk.
We should have some of the flowers on right on the left. And not have a path right down the middle. I see Dorothy and Toto.
Oh, yes, the yellow, yeah, yellow brick road.
I cannot see that.
Actually, put groundhogs on.
Actually, I would like it a lot, they had the yellow brick road down there.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, prairie dog would be better.
And it's not like we have to get all the comments
Yeah, yeah.
tonight, but like if you
They
think
have a lot
of,
for you.
we can send this out if we don't already, and if you have thoughts
Yeah.
between now and the next meeting, maybe we can share those. Obviously, they probably, I mean, the building's going up pretty fast, so I don't know what their time frame is for doing this. I think it's gonna be, we were gonna ask if it coincides with the mural festival at all, but, I think it's probably gonna happen before that.
Wouldn't that be interesting to help?
But also know too that this obviously is not
Yeah.
part of, will
It's
not
not
be
us, yeah.
part of the town collection.
Yeah.
You know what would be cool? If the reflecting in the goggles was like a prairie dog with a camera.
Yeah.
Something
We
reflected
should
in the
just
goggles.
make it for him, send it to him, say, here, here's what we came up
Oh,
with.
seriously.
I know, I do like that idea.
Leslie, do you need more than what you just said, or, would you like this written, or? is this-
If somebody wants to consolidate it into some
Okay.
bullet points,
I mean,
I kind of tried to make some,
I mean, none of us lost our homes in the fire, I don't think, right? So, I mean, I don't know that any of us can directly speak to like how that people directly affected, if they wanna keep kind of
We can't.
re-trauma, talking about trauma, or if they wanna move beyond it, because none of us experienced it, but.
That's, or if I remember something.
Yeah, I mean, we've got.
I lost all my art, what are you talking about?
Well, see, I didn't, in your house?
No, in the shared studio.
Oh, studio.
Yeah.
Well, then how do you feel?
I would like to know
I'm
if the
sick.
medium, I think.
You're
there's
sick of
a
it,
slide
yeah.
next to it,
Okay.
Printed on vinyl.
I have that down as a question.
Is it a painting
But
or
that's what's
photograph?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know,
I mean, and,
yeah,
10 other people might feel 10 different ways.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Who knows?
Okay, so if anybody has further thoughts, email directly to Leslie and or Kim.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, the good thing is they're doing some art,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I went to every one of those meetings and made sure they were gonna do.
You did? Maybe,
Yes,
I
I
mean,
did.
I don't know if they're gonna get that involved, maybe they can come in and meet with us if they wanna get that involved, I don't know.
At some point, there's $250,000 for the two, well, they're only building a third of it right now, but the big building they're building in the
Yeah.
castle.
Wow.
Trustee Hammerly really wanted that garage to be painted with a big yellow, but we'll see how it is.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Did you say trustee?
Well, she was.
Back in-
she was-
Yeah, was, I was
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, unless Leslie or Michaela have any other staff updates.
thank you,
We're done
Bob.
with that
Thank
section.
you.
Thank you for your input.
Well, thank you guys for working on this stuff for us, we appreciate it,
Agreed.
for the town.
I'm just excited they're putting something on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's kind of like, Leslie and I were talking, it's similar to that buffalo out there that we had no say or rhyme or reason
Yeah.
around, and even though we kind of
Jennifer?
wanted it, that didn't happen either.
Is it still there?
It's still there, those guys want someone to buy it.
Where's it at?
Really?
Where's it at now?
It's still sitting in front of where the element was.
How much do they, I mean,
I
I
get people are like,
I think at one point they
It's
said
like-
30.
It was a lot.
Somebody,
Yeah,
it was a
30,000.
lot, it was a lot.
It was in that
Gee.
ballpark.
But really, isn't it damaged from the fire?
I know it has
I'll give you 100 right now.
Okay, alrighty.
All right.
Make that a condition of the new hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to general updates and debriefing, we've got the Marshall Fire Remembrance, and JD, I had your email printed, but you did all this work, so did you want to? There's a lot going on, and most of it is happening right now with staff.
Yeah, so the subcommittee actually met back in February, early February, and you've not met since because there's a lot of administrative work going on behind the scenes. Basically where we're at now is, now that we have a design concept, we have to really get moving along on figuring out how the fundraising is gonna happen. And so, I'm almost done drafting an RFQ that will go out in search of a fundraising / marketing firm that's basically would be needing to work on a percentage basis, since we do not have a budget for this project. And, you know, it's looking like it could be in the $4 to $6 million range. So hopefully we'll be interviewing said fundraisers by June is the hope, and we have kind of a schedule we're working on. Leslie and I are meeting with Boulder County tomorrow morning, and as well as with the designers to get their, to bring them up to speed and kind of as part of the bigger process of hopefully getting approval.
Yeah, so because we're putting we're proposing to put this on open space property, and Boulder County participated in that property acquisition, and they have the conservation easement on it. Art on open space is a little out of the norm, so we kind of have to get their buy-in, but so far they've been supportive of the idea. So we're gonna do a full presentation. They might have some feedback, some tweaks that they asked for, but that's tomorrow, so.
You know, fingers crossed, everybody, 9:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Probably juju out.
Yeah, throw the good vibes out.
You got it.
All right, survey work has been done, and then after that, soil testing will happen. So that's in the works. Superior Rising, I don't know if we wanna talk about that so much.
Yeah, I mean, we need a vector for accepting donations, right? We need a nonprofit, and Superior Rising is a promising existing 501c3 that we can leverage for that, so making progress on.
And that's controlled by the town?
Or no.
So how does that work?
So Superior Rising came about right after Marshall Fire.
Right,
And that's what your questions are, what the town is working out, so we would get a memo of understanding, and, you know, they would be holding those donations for a specific purpose for the memorial.
And then Neil, I think at the historic dinner, you described really well the difference between Superior Rising and like the next level or something.
Yeah, Superior Rising, we did the easy form with the IRS to get, 501c3 status, which only took 2 months.
Yeah.
Now, that easy form is taking like 6 or 9, because the IRS has been effectively doged. The other option is you do the larger 501c filing, which normally takes 6 or 12 months. No one knows how long it's taking right now. So there's other options, like Community Foundation that suggested we could use them, and they would set up a separate account, and the money would just flow through them and then to the town. So they would have to take 1% or 2%, just administrative, and that's part of the things that we're.
so who do you mean by?
So basically Superior Rising has a ceiling of $50,000 per year.
Right.
That we're looking at a $4 to $6 million project, we would need another nonprofit to partner with. So Community Foundation could be a possibility, but the fundraising firm that we end up contracting with,
Right.
they may have recommendations or partners that they've worked with. So I think it'll be a learning situation as we
That's just a
go.
lot of money in a brand new 501c3.
Well, and my understanding from John
It's not,
is not that they can't.
they max out at 50.
But
Well,
we can do more, we have to up the.
Right.
Yeah, it comes with an increased level of rigor and auditing and that kind of stuff, so you have to get software and, that kind of stuff. So, if Community Foundation has to take a percentage of it versus somebody having to commit their time or having to hire a firm or something from Superior Rising, so there's a trade to be done there.
And then lastly, 2026 is the 5-year anniversary year of the fire event. And Michaela and team is already starting to work on that planning. We do know that the Marshall Fire Remembrance Project will be a component, but, not the
It
feature.
will not be complete.
Yeah,
Can't
it will
imagine
not
what
be
they.
complete. We were hoping,
Yeah.
we will not be breaking ground, but there will be a presence, you know, and it could be that maybe the designers do a short presentation. Maybe there's just a table with photos, we're not really sure, but we're really happy to be a part of it. In some shape or
I
form.
mean, everybody who's seen the design has loved it, but I suspect that not a lot of people have seen this design. I mean, it's been at a council meeting, it's, you know, been in other places, but I don't know, many people watch those. So getting them on big posters or getting a model on the table or something would be awesome.
Yeah.
People would be excited.
Model would be really cool.
And, you know, their typical presentations. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that, but it could be that they have a condensed something, who knows? But, you know, you've got your work cut out for you, working between now and then, so that's all I've got. Do you have anything else?
No, that's good summary. Yeah, I don't know when we'll meet next, but as JG has updates for us, we'll get back together.
Yep.
The fundraising is, like JG said, I mean, this is $3, $4, $5, $6 billion, and that's a lot of pavers to sell, right? I mean, so I don't know that we're looking to sell flagstones for this, you know, we need somebody who can go out and do campaigns, corporate donations, state, I don't even know.
And it could be, you know, I think the designers that we're working with, because they've done this a lot, been around it a lot, they kind of mentioned that it's really common for a fundraiser to raise 75 to 85% of the dollar amount, and then engage residents for legacy type components of the project, like bricks, you know, things that they could be a part of if they would like to be.
We've had our architect partners tell us things like they've shopped the idea around to certain big contractors who immediately said, how can we help? What can we donate? You know, we'll donate our time, you know, these kinds of things. So they're optimistic that because of the cause and the design and stuff, that I don't want to say people are gonna be throwing money at us, but it feels easier.
Could they approach like places as big as like Target, who was affected by the fire,
I have a feeling it'll be a local, regional, national level campaign.
Excel energy thing.
You know, and it's not because Target is also impacted,
yeah.
so is that a
So
good
it's
thing or
Tesla.
not a good thing, you know what I mean?
Well, Target
Yeah.
sets it up, you have to apply for any donations the year before you need them, because they have a board that reviews it, I went through that for.
But you know what I mean, like.
You're saying that they're like a
victim? It'll be
Right.
interesting to see what their angle is on that, you know, do they wanna go to companies that were also.
That's what donates a lot of money, we can't protest.
Not other.
And all these logistics are why it was hiring someone.
Yeah.
We all looked around the table and thought, that's a lot of phone call, that's a lot of money, that's a lot of,
Yeah.
you know, nobody wants to do that.
And they know how to, you know, they know how to do the big corporate giving where somebody's gonna write $1 million check. You know, big stuff. So anyway, I think that's it.
Awesome job.
Great. All right, so for debriefing, I guess I kind of blew the lead on this one. So we reviewed the Euro Festival contract at the council meeting on Monday, which was approved in the consent agenda. We want to talk any more about the details of that, or just-
If you may be feeling a little deja vu. It was, the agreement was already approved and then Streetwise wanted just some modifications. So we did those, but any modification to an already approved agreement has to go back to council, so.
Any modifications that were drastic or just regular stuff?
Any change. to
No, I
what
mean,
they-
was there any?
No.
Okay.
No, and I read it, it's a good contract, there's, you know, all the stuff about rights to the art and everything that Streetwise is gonna do for us, and it's.
So we have full rights, video, everything for all the artwork, right?
It's ours.
But, you know, but they also have, you know, marketing
Oh, yeah.
abilities and things like that. Yeah, we just need to just iron out a couple things.
Okay, so we got some upcoming events. Tomorrow is the BFF Prime Minister screening, so Chris is gonna be out, I will be there, I hope everybody can come. I'll say a few words, no substitute for Chris, but I'll introduce that film. And we'll show the preview for the next one, Chasing Childhood, which is, of course, a week there on the way. And then, you know, tomorrow, I don't know, you only got a couple of responses to your doable.
Three. You, Artis, and Liza.
Okay.
For which one?
For the landscaping,
I thought we already said we were, I mean, didn't we discuss it last meeting?
Yeah, but she put a
Oh.
poll out for
Oh,
times.
okay, okay.
and, yeah. I mean, any of you can come. We're meeting at 11 o'clock tomorrow
Okay.
morning in front of the civic space. So I just knew of Liza, Artis, and Andrew coming, but like I said, anybody's welcome to come because we do have a work session on the calendar.
Yeah, so please join us. Remember, this was the idea of Coyote Hawk.
Yeah.
Probably having a better home there, but as an extension, they're going to considering reworking that whole garden area right there in front of the civic space anyway, so we want to coordinate on not tearing it up or having open space or anything. We want to do a sculpture garden or, you know, so just
Being proactive.
being proactive. Okay, so I think that gets us through general updates and debriefing. Moving on to work plan check-in, back to the mural festival.
Logo.
Logo.
So we're gonna remove that middle one, right? Yeah,
Apparently we are.
yeah.
It's not that delicious, is it really?
It is.
It is. Or it looks like a
does.
bomb pop.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
I said the comments, I liked the ones where that one actually felt attached anyway to me, so I like kind of what the mural was kind of inside it, more compact logo. And I know the color palette on this one could be changed to match the rest, but I like the more, I don't know, what do you call that?
Which one?
So, yeah,
This one
the
is in like
first,
primary colors.
yeah, the first ones are in like our
Right.
our town color palette.
Okay.
And then we tested some, trying to go a little more creative and outside the box.
Yeah,
But the color palette, yes, can be switched either.
I like D.
That's what I was gonna do, just for fun. Let's go around, like, just what's your top pick?
D.
D, which is this one.
Yeah.
What
Same thing.
Same, which is your favorite?
I mean, I like D, I like A. I even like.
One, like.
I don't like D. I like D, frankly, but I don't think I'm gonna know that now.
And you got
You can choose whatever you
No,
want.
I mean, I really don't care. I like D and A.
Michaela, do you have a favorite? I don't. I love E for some reason.
That's actually the one I like too.
Oh, you did? I'm not the only one who liked that, okay.
Yeah, E is my.
I was A.
You're A and artist? A. A.
Chris?
Chris likes to be.
Come back to me.
You're last.
You're
Oh, I'm
last.
last? Okay.
You're already last. Everybody else ordered already.
I kind of like
That's what,
A and F.
There's no app.
so if you do A, can you make festival a little bit?
Oh, sorry,
no.
A and E.
Yeah, you failed your vision test there, buddy.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the letters. I just heard you guys saying them.
Oh,
I don't know why, I love that.
So festival on A is a little small, could you do a little larger?
It is a little small. It's
Yeah,
not a lot of
it's a
them.
little bit
It's
bigger.
small on D.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's just, you know,
proportionally.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I like A too. I like A and D.
I mean, I like the subtle irony of C.
Yeah, yeah,
Kind of like
But,
someone
you
gets
know.
disgruntled.
yeah,
to it.
Yeah, and
just gotta be a little careful.
you have to like, we have to stare at it real close, right? Like, is there anything in here? Is this a frog or like a wolf or something, right? Like,
Oh, yeah,
There's
there
like
is
a
in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
You gotta be real careful with random dots.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I like.
that's what we like about it. I mean, you guys didn't see that right off. We did, we were like, that's cool. What is that? It's a wolf, it's a
Was there
coyote.
any, was there any color theory given to us about these color selections?
It's our, part of the town brand, it's our brand colors.
But the ones in E are much more saturated.
They stepped out of the box.
Yep.
Those two.
You got lucky, you got.
Yeah,
And I
Flashy.
commented that I liked it less. I think I would like to have that one in the town colors.
yeah, I like it.
So it's something like
Maybe
A and E are
A and D,
A and D.
A and D had the most votes.
yeah.
But a couple, we had Chris, Neil, and why is it?
There were 3 on E.
I mean,
Oh, E?
well, I
I
mean,
thought it was
I like it. I mean, I'm pretty easy. Now,
Did Frank choice?
I'm just saying I really don't care.
Maybe we need to do a vote like all of them,
They're all
all
pretty
A,
good.
like we didn't have 2 votes, pick 2 that you liked and then.
That's why I did 1.
No, but we don't wanna just stick with one.
Well, we have to
We're
narrow
gonna
this down.
Let's go with A.
Poll.
I think we should just go with A. It's middle, everybody seems to like that one.
Trying to coerce.
Well, everybody kind of liked that one.
But we had D and E as well,
I
though.
know.
Is there a coyote in it? I don't know. It's like-
No, those are an A.
E feels younger.
It does, but
Because of the colors.
yeah,
But it'd be hard to paint with that paintbrush.
The colors can be
yeah.
changed to, you don't really like that one.
All right, what do you want us to do? Should we vote?
I'm just careful that if there's 3 that you still like, comms will end up just choosing, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to
We've
pick one.
eliminated B and C. We can start with that, right?
Okay. I don't like the colors in E.
The colors can be
And
changed.
U was in the other color palette.
I don't
Does
like
it
the
make you
mountains as a
like-
paintbrush, it's just weird, it's weird looking. It is, because as an artist, I'm like, well, where's the bristles? How are they looking like mountains? I don't know.
She's a mountain
I know,
fashion
but that's not how I think.
Yeah.
You wanna go around the room one more time?
Okay, so now we're between A, D, and E with the other colors.
I'll start, I switched to
Okay. All right, A. Andrew?
A.
A.
I just like the.
Okay, no, that's not, I'd like D too, but I get you. I just think A is gonna be easier.
I like the font better on A.
We should ask the kids if they can read D.
It's moo, they can't read cursive. Yeah. They'll be like, what?
You should ask them, what do you all like?
Yeah, which ones do you
like? Personally, I like D.
Oh, if you can read cursive.
I like the cursive on D, but I overall like A better.
You know, I like the cursive, could we do the cursive in A? That would be cool. Yeah, I like the mural font.
I don't, yeah, I think we should.
I'll just
These are our
stick with it. You guys, I'm going with A.
I think we can go bigger, smaller font, but.
I like the cursive, just maybe a little less bold.
But you like D,
Yeah.
you like this one?
Well, I like the mountains in A, the cursive in B, and I like the sides of A.
Alright. This is 2/3 in A.
Yeah, the figure on the top of A is a little small.
So it sounded like A has risen to the top.
With festival a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and Superior up top, I think needs to be spread out a little bit bigger as well.
that needs to be
spread out. But aside from that, I think that's.
And it could be
But
that,
don't you think there's too many different fonts in that?
Yeah, definitely. But
I
I'm
mean,
hoping
the
they-
Superior shouldn't be that different from the other
Oh,
fonts.
good point.
well, we
that
don't want to
seems
jump
like-
into the graphic design-ish, but we could throw that out as a recommendation.
I think it's makes it.
I think overall A, it
Hard
just
to
have to
read
get the
or-
font.
No, it just. It doesn't feel as,
It's because it's very small too.
okay, it
I-
doesn't
yeah.
feel like it goes.
Yeah.
The
Kind of like
superior,
all the same font, like the.
Yeah.
kind of a
Yeah.
situation.
I think that's cool, that font, that whole.
Yeah. I like that.
This is kind of actually neat without the.
Yeah,
paintbrush,
it is,
just
yeah.
the-
Yeah.
Just the.
Yeah, I like the
part.
different colors.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
This
do
is kind
that,
of cool.
do that with A would be awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly, do
Yes.
that with A would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. We
Okay.
could.
Can we all agree with that?
All right.
Can we ask them to make those color tips not so copy and pasty
No.
on A?
Each paint swipe not be the exact same copy paste.
Would-
I see what you're saying,
Well,
well,
but it's the same exact. Yeah.
The same-
Like more
the same
standard.
Dude's idea was to have to root.
I know.
alright, we're sticking with the font in, what, C, with.
So A is the choice, but
Right.
consider the treatment of C.
Yes, ma'am, you got it.
Okay.
Oh,
And if they can, make a little.
it's gonna be so much color.
You do.
Yeah, the way.
Yeah, it is.
Girl.
Well, that maybe, I mean,
Without
I
the
think,
color.
without the color,
Yeah.
yeah, just the layout.
It's cool, it's cool.
Alright.
Okay.
Can I say something about this? Sure. You could also, instead of saying festival, you could just say fest, cause I feel like mural sounds good.
Well, next we're gonna talk about whether it's.
Oh, you're right, but for the seniors, you might nitpick on
This-
that.
This group voted wanted
I
a
like that.
festival, cause remember.
We
it was-
specifically had that
We did, had it
conversation.
changed, that's right,
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah.
Why did we change it?
You all wanted it.
That's,
It was
yeah.
more
That's
sophisticated.
that's why we changed it, yeah.
And it's the.
I think that was one to three.
Generational thing. I'm not happy with that part.
Yeah.
Go back and forth, because if it wasn't the, if it just said Superior Root Festival, I think that would also kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be the,
You got that,
we got that.
Got
you
that.
got that,
Yeah,
and
get that.
festival, anything you want,
We
you got it.
But very good point.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, so we're still in the Mural Festival, there was, on this schedule, there was approving the RFQ in this meeting, this. That,
I don't think we didn't get a draft back on her RFQ, did we? Did we
I mean, this is
ask?
aggressive, because the thing was just approved on Monday, right? And so press release and marketing plan a week
I'm
later.
guessing she's not on that yet.
Yeah.
So maybe we table that for next meeting.
No, that's the rural,
Oh.
that's,
Gotcha.
Just a loose schedule, I mean, this is almost a year's worth of schedules.
Yeah, the mural bus person.
Gotcha.
One, Streetwise, it's their calendar, their schedule.
Anything else we need to discuss?
Just so excited for this.
It's very exciting, I think.
Not that I can think of. We'll just keep you updated of anything, in between meetings if we need to, otherwise we'll always obviously have an update at the meetings.
Let's see, so next on the agenda is the audit review. And I said I'd make a map, and I did make a map, and I just wonder if that's gonna derail us to talk about turn by turn stuff here, but let's start it, see what happens.
Do you want to time limit or? Are you
Maybe we should all review the map and bring it up for discussion next time. If we have any changes to it. Or will we?
Let's give it a shot for a few minutes and see what it is.
No, hey.
You're allowed to hate it.
We need to take your movie away.
Chris already.
No.
And Stephanie, all the meetings you missed, it seems so quiet.
I know, you're here, right? Ah, you guys must hate that.
They went by so fast.
No. You'll miss me in May and August. I'll be in France.
Okay,
Go everything in.
Yeah, we're doing this year now for the passive thing. So.
this is, I don't understand this site. Every time I,
Wow, we're going really far with the art.
no, I can't zoom, there we go. You can't zoom on the globe, you have to like just mess around and make it. So this, I did this a long time ago, this is fun,
Yeah.
but this is the idea of having a, sort of a metro map
Yeah.
of the artery, and I had it divided up into, you know, this is like North Rock Creek and South Rock Creek and downtown and original town, but, that's represented here. And Chris and I worked through this a long time ago. Chris, I couldn't find your old map, so I had to remake this, right? But this is like, if you go back all the way to the placemaking plan, this is pretty close. You know, this just adds a lot more detail to the kind of the big stripe that they drew through town. This has endpoints at Part Wings and Eldo, which is currently a sculpture site. And there will, even if we move Coyote Hawk, there will always be a platform there and probably a piece at some point.
I still gotta wonder, with all the changes at Coyote Ridge, isn't there some way we can work with that? Because we've got all those new things going on that they're doing out there.
I guess we need to talk again about, you know, what is this path, right? Because this is 5 miles long already, right? So if we were to go out on the Coyote Ridge, right, we'd add another mile to it. 5 miles is a lot.
Cut off some of the other stuff at the start. We got things out there.
We already got a lot of bunch of
The
stuff down there.
you know, we kind of decided to focus here, and we've done a pretty good job. We've got the Part Wings to start, we've got the mural in the underpass, we've got Watch Your Seer here, we're about to put a mural here. And then, you know, all through here, this is Main Street and Crack Loma and all that, right? So we'll have the benches, we will have one here in the plaza. I guess. Yeah, the athletic fields are here, so I think there's. I think one of the bathrooms is over here and one of the bathrooms is over here. So a lot of the murals that we're about to paint are near this, so I don't think we cut off downtown. It is a little bit of a struggle because some of our most iconic art, the triptych, the rings, the other mural, and Silencio are all on sort of the main drag here. Which,
Do we want to go back to the main drag somehow?
I don't know.
And, you know, I think that's a really great question. I think another question, maybe take advantage of the fact that Leslie's here, is, you know, I think kind of the bigger question with public art is, does it stay kind of on main pathways, parks, things like that? Do you delve into open space area, because that's a whole different, I don't wanna say can of worms, but it's a whole different thing, right?
Well, it's something that we would have to then collaborate with the open space committee and see if that's something they would be interested in entertaining.
I love the idea of trying to collaborate with other committees to incorporate that knowledge.
One of the things that I had thought about with this sort of subway map model is that you could have a spur, right? So you could start here, you could have a iconic art spur that hit the 3 big pieces up here or something. Or, you know, Chris had been talking about, you know, something along, you know, the Caps Gulch, you know, through here. So if there was a spur that went along the trail in here or something like that, right? Because you can't, a single path, it's 5 miles long. That's a bike ride.
One piece of information I will share is we are scheduled to put in one of those pedestrian crossings with the hawk, you know, with the sound and the flashing lights. Between Vista Corridor and Ormond Roche.
Where's that at?
Along the castle.
Along across the chasm,
Right.
where people dash across traffic right now. So that will help provide better access to the rings.
Yeah, so the spur could actually be from here, because I was wondering, because the trail goes under McCaslin, there's really not a good way to get back to McCaslin if you're under here, so the spur could actually be from this corner you know, you cross at the
Mhm.
Hawk and then, you know, go do these.
You could also think in terms of like little loops, so that somebody could pick a small loop to do instead of doing the whole route or getting stuck on it one way on a spur, but just,
Yeah.
you know, creating small rings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
And that could incorporate, you know, the triptych, and part of downtown without having to go up to the rings. You could do the rings on a separate circle or a separate loop.
And the other thing kind of too, what you're talking about is, you know, does the artery bypass every single piece of public art in town? Or is it its own thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's the hard part.
I guess we really need to decide that, because I was under the impression that it was originally its own thing, but maybe it's not.
It was kind of envisioned as a connector, I think, which I think this does a good job, right? I mean, this is,
Yeah,
you know, South Rock Creek all the way to Original Town.
and you're right, we're not gonna get every piece.
And some current and past members of CAPS had some really clever and fun ideas about doing a Halloween 5K or a
Yeah.
back porch music thing, you know, along the circle, you know,
Yeah.
like down here in this Circle Park stretch, right? Like this section right here, you know, between the backs of these houses, actually, that's a really neat part of town.
It is,
Right in
it is
here.
really neat.
You know,
It's
this
pretty,
kind of area is kind of where I envision Peace Bowls being a good job for.
yeah. I like the meditation garden type idea.
And then, you know, we hit all the, you know, we hit Community Park, Wildflower Park, Urban Park, Miners Park, the area where the Commons, where the amphitheater is, Founders Park, so you get a lot of Superior. But it's just a draft, and I don't think we have time or want right now to do every little turn by
Well, I
turn.
love the idea and I love the spur idea, I think it's great. I like how we have it.
Chris, I like the loop idea
Yeah.
too. Maybe you and I just maybe trade some Google Maps over the next month and try to see what we can come up with spurs and loops and things.
Yep.
All right, is that okay with the group? If we just take this as a launching point and work on another draft?
I mean, my ultimate goal is to have the path to actually spell out CAPS from overhead.
We do need to get the creek officially named Taft Creek.
That reminds me,
We need a plan.
I had an idea for the, this is just totally out there, but for the taking the turn lanes out in Rock Creek Parkway, which they're about to do, and they're gonna put in that stamped concrete. I thought of a way in which we could encode some kind of Easter egg in like the slopes and angles of those, that stamped concrete. Maybe we could like put a little Easter egg that you can see from a drone and it would spell out Superior or something.
Oh, that would be cool.
So, well, I'll email.
I'd be happy to share that with Public Works.
All right, I'll email. I can email
We
Easter
should
egg.
get on that.
I'm sure they'll be super excited.
They'll love it. Job security, man.
Okay, so let's go on to our discussion.
Does anybody need a copy of what I sent out?
I would love one.
I don't have one for everybody, but yeah.
Sherry,
I just wanna look at it.
Sherry and I can share one. Here you go, honey.
Question though, Jake, we have this in this order, we have it, but would it be better to do the quick ones and then just sort of run the meeting out on day?
There you go.
All right, so I'm proposing that we actually put A to the back.
Okay.
So let's do this review of the digital art call to artists.
And I don't have a copy myself. Is there?
I don't think I actually have it on that.
Okay.
Anyone else need a copy of the call to artists?
So, I think the most straightforward and easiest and accessible way for Superior residents to enter, is to use Shake Superior instead of Cafe, which costs a lot of money and we'd get a lot of non-Superior residents, so. So this is just kind of the beginnings of the basic information that I'd need to build a call to artists on Shake Superior.
No, that's so.
Would you like me?
There you go. Okay, so call on Shape Superior, love that idea. Yeah, cool.
So basically, kind of just, explaining what it is that CAPS has launched this digital slideshow exhibit opportunity for residents. I guess the bigger question to you all is, would you choose just one artist for a certain amount of time? Or would you choose multiple artists and have back-to-back rolling exhibits on any given digital screen? Like, would you choose 5 artists and we program 5 of them to just roll? You know what I mean? So I kind of didn't know what your idea was there. So we need to think about that, first and foremost, and kind of like a title.
Quarterly, didn't we discuss doing it quarterly? Where we change out like every quarter?
A long time ago, when we had like budget even in mind for it, I think there were 4, but.
Yeah.
I don't.
But, I mean, the length is, we can talk about that too, but what I'm more concerned about is how many artists are you gonna choose out of this call?
Right.
5.
I think on any given screen, it's 1 artist. That's just my bet, that you don't just take 5 and just see one, but.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
well, I
whatever
guess
the duration is, but
Yeah.
it's just 1 artist.
One artist at a time?
The other question would be like, do you have a different artist in this community center that you do in the civic space or something like that, right?
That's what I'm wondering, like, how many artists are you gonna
So you
select?
would
out
do
of
like a
this?
featured artist every month?
Something like that.
I mean, you don't want it longer than
Well,
a month for one
I
artist.
think
It's
a
just-
month is very short, like,
That's actually really good. That's usually what you do for.
but that's
artists.
but I think with the digital, it's just a lot of change out. I mean, you guys would have to pre-select a lot, we can't do a call every month.
So maybe more than one for a 3-month
I
period.
guess I was thinking like 4 to 6 months per.
Oh,
Yeah,
But we could use 1 call to get the whole year's worth of art.
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
that's a long time to have your art featured. That's like 4 months of free publicity, man. It's pretty awesome. I mean, that's awesome,
Well,
but.
but if
it's not
you choose
difficult.
a whole
Yeah.
bunch of artists out of 1 call and we're changing them out monthly, that's different,
Right, yeah.
but.
And who would do that programming, I guess?
That's somebody on CAPS would need to.
Me, I don't know how to do that. If someone could teach me. I'd do
But
it.
the artists would have to submit their images.
Right,
And then they're basically just downloaded onto a thumb drive and then
yeah.
me and or comms create a splash page so that it has like, it's Town of Superior, this is a CAPS.
Then let me ask you, since you guys
Featured
would be doing
exhibit.
that, how much time would it take you to do that? I mean, monthly sounds like it would be a lot of
It
work.
would be a lot, that's what
So
I'm
maybe
saying, I
we
think,
do,
unless CAPS, somebody on CAPS can head this up and absolutely do that.
you guys want to train someone? You can train me, I do
Well-
it, but I don't know how.
It's just basically, it's a slideshow.
Okay.
You do it in PowerPoint.
And that
Yeah.
can be
Oh,
done
I
in
can do PowerPoint,
PowerPoint
yeah.
and you export it as an MP4.
Okay,
So it's not overly difficult, but
Yeah.
if you're changing out artists every month, that's
Right.
a lot of work for staff or CAPS.
Yeah.
So I think just keep that in mind.
what do you guys think? What, I guess, like the firm number of artists? What do you think?
2 or 3 months. That would be either 6 or 4.
So quarterly, would sound
I
like a good idea.
mean, they're quarterly here.
Yeah, quarterly sounds good.
Yeah.
But is it just one artist per quarter or?
I mean, I would think we wouldn't be able to know how many we can pick until we know how many we get. We don't wanna
Yeah.
overshoot how many we want unless we know we're gonna absolutely have a surplus to choose from.
I would say if we're doing it quarterly, it's a 3-month period, have 3 artists. ideally, and then if we don't get the 3, we do the 1 at least, but maybe,
Well, 4
Yeah.
would be quarterly.
I thought it was 3 months and a quarter.
12 months.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
It's already March,
Yeah.
so I just think we should be starting now.
Yeah. Then this call has to get for a little while, and then, okay, so let's go back to the top, what do you wanna call this?
It's a magic hour. Oh, you want a name?
I know you had a couple suggestions, does anybody have any thoughts too? You wanna share yours?
Me? Look Ma, no frames. Click it and stick it, Superior's digital art drop. Pixels of Pride.
Is there a copy of this somebody can send me? It wasn't on the email.
I will pull it up and get it on my screen, how about that?
Sure.
Sorry, Chris, I did not, I brought hard copies, I didn't know you were attending Zoom, and I would have emailed it, sorry.
So just to be clear, this is not necessarily digitally created art. This is just
Yeah.
digital images of existing art.
Yeah,
That could be digital.
it could be a
It could
ceramic
any-
artist, it could be a jeweler, it could be a photographer, it could be a painter, I guess that
Yeah,
was my next
Yeah,
question.
okay.
That's what I was assuming.
So I don't think we should
My
have
question is
digital
gonna
in the
be,
name.
got Bob.
You're right. So it would be click it and stick it, Superior's art drop.
For how they do it.
That was 1. Then I came up with Pixels and Pride, Superior Artist Show Off.
That's a good point, yeah.
Swipe on right,
Are we
Superior
Do you
Edition.
want videos?
The big screen glow up, Superior Artists Unleashed. No frames, no shame, Superior goes digital. Those were the ones that I came up with. What you got? Names. What do you call it? Do you want a traditional, like an art drop?
And it may be that we need to decide this over email, cause this could take a while and it's, I mean, we have some time, but.
We could just go with art drop. No, yeah. Count as Superior art drop, I don't know.
Do you need to name the shape superior, is that what you're trying to do?
Just the name of this exhibit.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
You feel like you need a name before you do the shape superior
Yeah.
launch?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right, well, you got some other questions on here, age.
And the reason why I have that is because, sorry, Chris, I'm working on it.
I mean, you don't want like kids' photos on there, finger painting, you
Well-
know? We want artists.
Basically, with like, with,
Yeah.
with, the Superior snaps,
Yeah,
because, you know, we could get in trouble if we have a youth enter without the knowledge of their parents. or
Exactly.
guardian. So, and it's not that we can't have something signed off on, that's fine.
and don't
But
you always
sometimes
have-
it's easier if it's just 18 or older, but
Yeah.
but if not,
I like
we can-
18 and older.
we can get
I mean, is this
Consent.
for artists who are trying to make a living from art, or is this for people who do art as a hobby and?
I think it's whoever, any artist in Superior, I don't think we should limit it, just, and if you just do a hobby, that counts.
so we're
Yeah.
doing 18 and up.
Yeah,
Do we? Yeah. I mean, I get
because
it's
we already got the
but
kid thing going, you already have the kids art show, somebody does, somebody's already done.
schools.
Yeah, yeah, they already got that, so yeah.
Okay.
It'd be a shame to cut out some of the high school artists. but-
It would, but they
Yeah.
already have that.
They do
Already
have
in
their, they already
place.
have their, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got
Two of
lots
them,
of
actually.
competitions
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, the other thing too is you guys can roll with this and you can always change it up
we
at
can
a
have,
later time.
yeah, we can add a kids one or a senior one, you know, if it's popular, whatever.
Okay, I think you brought up a good question on general information on the first bullet.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, the file types, I think you can include movies just as easily. And in fact, the one that's on this screen here does have one of the moving digital arts on it, so I would think we would allow videos, right?
True.
It just, it might make whoever makes the
Well, that's the thing,
thing a little bit harder, but
I have.
Well, it would be also be an
So
MP4
it would be
video.
their video.
And it would just play instead of slides.
But then you gotta worry about what's in the background of the video.
Oh, there's a suitability thing.
Is there? Okay.
So video, everybody, yes, no?
Yeah, why not?
So we'll add MP4.
Maximum of blank artwork images, do we care?
Yes, so,
Well, I guess the reason why I was thinking that is having them help do the work for you.
You
If
want
there's,
them to curate for sure, right? Yeah.
well, are you gonna limit it, like you can only have one art photo per application? Or are you gonna allow them to have 3 different pieces that they can
you,
apply
I'm
with?
guessing you all would want to see an example of what an exhibit would look like. That's why I
Yes.
thought 10.
Okay.
Up to 10?
Up to 10.
This is for the,
10's a lot.
That's what I was thinking.
physical one.
Yeah, you're right.
The consistency.
Yes.
I mean, if
For
you're
an exhibit.
actually doing
But then we've got some crafters that, well, it should be up to 10, but they don't have to have 10 full, right? So if
But
they
you
want
wanna,
it, you
you wanna know that they have at least 10, because you can't have an exhibit of 3 images.
Yeah, but then you're cutting out the crafters, you may not have 10.
but if they don't have,
When they
then
don't,
it's
you
not.
don't show it.
It's not really.
No, but we're also saying we could include one of their photos and have other artists and have a full, if we're saying like 3 different artists, a quarter. Just, so you're gonna have only.
Well, it's maybe after a year of this, if we wanted to
Yeah.
change it up and just show individual items, but for now,
Do it for 10.
I
yeah.
think 10 feels good, and this is the entry, right? So then you reach out and talk to them about the actual exhibit, I suppose.
Well, yeah, because that's, like, we do need to set a bar, like, what is the minimum number of images that constitutes an exhibit online?
Right.
Or a digital
I mean,
exhibit?
how long would you want to see 2 ceramic bowls going back and forth in the process?
2 seconds. One with also 2, that's it.
Okay,
Well, they would have to apply with what they want in the exhibit, so not representation, it would be the actual item we want to see, correct?
right, the thought behind 10 is, like, it's very clear that they have at least 10 pieces of art. Or
You've got maximum guaranteed.
maybe I should do minimum, and a max of 12?
I think the mid should be
Or you
5.
can get the whole exhibit, are you saying?
Yeah.
You think 10? You know that better than I
Yeah,
do.
you know ahead of time, but then there's a lot of back and forth, and what if there's
Okay.
a semi-finalist and the rest of their work you don't like?
Yeah,
Okay,
Wouldn't you rather see everything up right up,
you're right.
so 10 to 20, I mean, I would think 20.
10 to 20? Okay.
Can we cut out the pieces we don't like?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think it matters if we like them, to be honest. I think that's, I think we need to like art.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be pretty
Yeah,
informal, right? You
Yeah.
give their email address and you say, okay, this was great, number 12 was maybe not appropriate,
If
so.
it's not appropriate,
Yeah.
that's one thing, but it doesn't have to, we don't have to all like vote.
Just consolidate that, sorry.
okay, that's great, yes, so we're
Are we
trying to
gonna-
get,
Are we gonna designate whether they're landscape or portrait?
I didn't.
I don't think we should, if we should leave it open, yeah, I don't think we should.
So Chris, when my daughter made the one at the,
Right, yeah. Yeah.
in the community center, she did the like, YouTube thing where she tatted the sides of the portrait ones.
That looked good.
Yeah.
The suitability part is pretty standard stuff. If there's anything else you want added to it. Basically that counts as jury.
Nothing with drugs or alcohol? I know it's not.
I mean,
You got it.
this is a.
I know.
Gotta include it.
I mean,
You gotta
this
include it,
is-
you gotta itemize it.
Well, that would fall under
controversial.
controversial. Maybe that would fall under controversial.
Yeah.
Do you
We're
want
the, and we're the
We're the jury.
we're the final arbiters anyways, so that's true.
I mean, if they're like.
I mean, what if
photos
it's illegal?
Who does that?
You don't know if there was a, hey, they have 3,000 photos of a single red production in Paris Museum, it's crazy.
The bunny tails of this.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of ADHD in artists.
We are the final jury. I
Okay, so
Looks good.
I just wanted everyone to see this. Andrew and I were we started this, so are y'all okay if Andrew and I finish it before it gets built on
What are you gonna
Shakespeare? And then you can see it before it goes live.
I say just go for it.
Will we jury these at meetings or will we send out an email with all of them and just vote or how do we do that?
I think we jury at meetings.
So we could like sit and talk about the art for like a
I could-
meeting.
Well, I would have to download it off of Shape Superior and
Yeah.
they download as PDFs and I can send it out and
That might be easier.
I think so,
Okay.
so you can jury on your own
And then we
time.
can talk.
Right.
Oh, you know how like the
That's what risky part.
how we had it when we were like.
You're just
looking at comments. When we were doing the digital art show with Chris, how we had that, it was perfect. We just voted on there. That was awesome.
I think that was through a site like Cafe, we don't have that.
Make it happen. Create one.
Okay. Are we good?
I think we're good.
And what was the title again?
So
Oh, I came up-
that we were gonna eat there.
Okay.
Superior Art Drop was, I think, one of the ones that sounds fine.
some,
The art drop.
I put some resolution dimensions in the chat. I would suggest adding that.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
minimum, yeah.
Where?
That's a good idea.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Drop it in the chat.
We also need a logo
Okay.
Do we?
On the platform. Just in town of Superior, number, right?
Let me take that one off. So don't do something with it.
Okay, let's see, moving on, stickers. So Chris sent me a couple of examples I will share.
These are just like rough drafts. And I didn't have resilience in the ones I sent you.
Ooh, yes. Oh, I like that.
So I just went out there and just took some pictures of the mural and sent them to Chris and he
I like that.
photoshopped them up for us.
So does it say Town of Superior or?
No,
Without lines?
it doesn't say resilience. I have a new draft in Photoshop that has the title, but we can put Town of Superior, caps, whatever we want in there.
And what's the other ones?
And then, okay, so question though, like this was just me taking a picture with my camera and like you can see the
Concrete.
line of shadow and
Yeah.
stuff, like do we want to take like, photo quality or do we stylize it?
I think we stylize it.
Or do we try to take a picture with a flat, or get comms, take a picture that's good enough to? How much do we care? about
We care, we care.
What
We
about
want our
if we
swag to
talk
be
to
good.
Hillary about
Get it
it?
digital, just get it straight digital.
Didn't we already get one though when she did photo?
Well, I mean, we have the right to reproduce, but
Yeah.
if we're modifying in any way, then I just feel like it would be as a courtesy to ask the artist, they may have a image just like this, but without the lines,
I
based
thought
on
she
their
gave us
design.
She didn't?
That was part of their proposal,
okay.
but we can't pull from that.
Ah,
And they used it, they had it in their VR headset.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it might be worth an ask.
yeah.
I love, but like the concept of,
Mhm.
this cutout, this shape, like it's.
I love it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like with the white frame area, I do like I know it may seem wordy, but if it could say Town of Superior,
Oh my God.
resilience. Rebel,
So long.
but it is part of the
It is,
collection,
yeah.
it is, the town did pay for it.
Yeah, yes.
And the point again, remind me, we are just printing a boatload of these to give out at every booth and mural festival and boost as our merch, is
Yeah.
that's kind of what we had in mind.
That one of a hashtag capsule or something.
Superior Art was our, we're trying to.
That's what I've been posting under hashtag Superior Art.
And what's the other one? The other
The
sticker?
other ones coming.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
I
And
was
you
kind
get
of in the middle of the road because this thing is so hard,
Yeah.
so hard to get just the right angle on.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
You can see both of them.
They are cool. We need
Chris-
one more. We
Chris,
need-
does it get printed with a hole in them?
It can.
That would probably cost a lot more.
It costs extra.
No, it doesn't cost extra. This is called a die cut sticker.
How much,
You do that.
I sent over prices before, it's like a couple $100 for, it might be like $300 or $400 for 1,000 of them, depending on the size of the sticker.
I like them.
Yeah, I mean, these are pretty iconic. Triptych. It's hard to photograph and probably it's old.
Yeah.
Hard to make a sticker of.
Or stuffy.
Keychain, like it's like an Eiffel Tower type, either a keychain or something. The rings would be a tricky sticker, maybe.
We've got some fun ones pieces.
We do.
That have been around for 35 years that could be fun in the mix.
Girl on bicycle for a sticker.
Sure. Or maybe just a sticker, the town logo sticker.
But I mean, this, I mean, as a start, you know,
Yeah.
these two.
These are awesome.
Very good.
I like them.
I think Coyote Hawk is good as is.
Yeah.
I might like to improve the quality of the image for Fox, but
Yeah,
I think Coyote Hawk's pretty good.
they're both really good guys.
It's got a bunch of shadows in it, but that's kind of the point. It's it's a cool piece.
It is a cool piece.
Chris or Andrew, do you wanna send me the box so that I'll get with Hillary and just let her know what y'all are thinking and see if she has an image or.
Ooh, what about a sticker of one of our groundhog dogs?
Prairie dog.
Prairie dog, yeah, that would be cool. The prairie dog sticker, whose would you pick? Hers. Duh. Obviously.
You do.
So put them side by side.
They're married.
Yeah, that's why you do it.
It's Alvin
Right.
and Theodora.
Well,
So
let's start with these and,
can the three of us work on the wording?
perfect.
I will, there is one more detail on the stickers. If somebody can, Drew, maybe since you were sharing, here's a website. We could potentially do Coyote Hawk as lenticular,
As what?
3D lenticular.
Oh.
So you can see like so you can see the rotation of the coyote and the hawk.
How much are those?
Yeah, how much does that cost?
$100.
These are like, yeah,
Don't get
these are
your.
giving it away and they're like Happy Meals and stuff.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's cool.
All right, so Chris and Gigi and I will work on moving that forward.
Looks good.
And real quick, last thing.
Fox stuff.
Fox stuff. What do you say about that?
Okay, well. They will not make us a stuffy.
What?
But, I mean, we could pay for one. This was what my daughter's looked like when she was, I don't remember how old.
What is
When she was
that?
little. That's her drawing,
Okay.
and they make it into a stuffy that's like exactly,
And the idea was to make a fox.
to make
like,
a fox stuffy and then wrap it up. So we would have to pay for that, but they will make us a custom blanket, which would also be cool, because I mean, it's really just about having some
Yeah.
swag. And they'll,
Yeah, yeah.
they will give us a medium-sized blanket for free.
Can we
No.
back up though, that the
Yeah.
idea was a raffle for?
Yes, to raise awareness for the mural festival.
That's right.
So we thought we would put one of our mural designs on it, and the foxes are kind of easy because you have the whole one. Like a whole fox, or a couple whole foxes,
Yeah.
and you could put, if you were doing a blanket, you could do like one fox here, one here, and then kind of repeat. And that would
Like a
be
Chili Fest or something.
at the chili fest, and then a blanket would be sort of easier to display, like big, you know, display of, yes, where the stuffy would be really small. But to say, when this blanket based off of our mural, if you enter a raffle, and while they're there, we tell them about the mural fest.
How much does it cost to have the stuff you made?
Well, I think for this, I mean, this was like 10 years ago, that was probably like $70. So a bigger size now would probably be like 150. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, about what you'd have paid to have a blanket made.
The blanket they will give us for free.
Oh,
So,
Which is cool. I still like the fox stuffy too.
yeah,
It'd be cool if we could do both.
of course you do.
Well, two different events.
Yeah.
You know.
So they offered the blanket in, you know, response saying,
Yeah.
the stuffies are very labor intensive because they're really making them exactly to the artist's art. But the blanket would also be cool, and it would be a much sort of easier, cool, big display piece that would bring people over. So,
Let's do it, and we'll coordinate with you when we get, if and when we get better art for this.
yeah, because we would definitely want the images if we did the blanket or the stuffy, because they do exactly what you send them. So if we have lines in it, they're cool lines in that. So
Loop that into the conversation.
Yeah.
with Hillary
So
then.
just like maybe a couple different images of the foxes digitally.
Well, and some of them have the peony behind it, but you just want the fox.
I think if we were, we would want to crop out anything in the background, and there's software, I mean, I could do that.
Right.
Just erase the background. Just think it would look cleaner on if it's just gonna be a repeated image on a blanket.
I'll talk to her.
Andrew, you think we should do the free blanket option? Cause I mean,
There's no,
Can we,
why not?
that's what I
yeah.
said too, you know.
Can we do the stuffy as well? Can we afford that for maybe another event?
Andrew would like to do Silencio as the stuffy. How do you feel about that?
That would be weird. That's how I feel about that. It would be really weird.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the
All right, so we're now going back to 6A, and beginning passing on some of the.
So basically passed around things that were emailed out. And just as a recap, council had a meeting, a work session on December 1st of 2025, and in that conversation, basically, staff was charged with suggesting some guidelines, discussions of working with CAPS, where there can be improvements, you know, via communication, things like that, possible structural changes for efficiency, a better working relationship, improved processes, manage expectations, and possible revised charter. And I also sort of included in the notes that at the last two council dinners, CAPS has asked council, you know, what would you like to see us doing? And they've always said, you know, we love what you do. And I think during that December 1st work session, they did sort of say, it's really difficult for us to just outwardly tell CAPS what they should be doing, and but therefore, you know, look to staff to come up with some suggestions. And so we worked on a document, created an example resolution just for the purpose of having a conversation with CAPS and seeing what you all think and go from there. Leslie and or Michaela, do you have anything to add to that?
And I think you did a really good job introducing that. And this is just a starting point, and a place where we at least have something we can get feedback from you all. And this doesn't have to be something that we start in today. It can take us a couple of meetings or however long it takes, but just wanted to get feedback on the different items. I think from the staff perspective, we've noticed how much we've grown as a town and all the things we've added since CAPS began. And so it's kind of reflective of that perspective, but it certainly doesn't probably take into account all of your perspectives. So we want to offer that opportunity as well.
CAPS is 10 years old.
Yeah.
To some extent, CAPS has worked, right? You know, residents back in 2016.
CAPS has done a lot. I mean, when you look at
Because they saw a need, right? And that's how all the committees formed. And the town has adopted that.
Yeah.
They got the staff and the departments grown up, so. To some extent, it has worked.
I think it's worked, and I think there's a lot of accomplishments, a great success story. And this is just an opportunity to see how we can tweak it to make it better for everybody. It's an opportunity to do that.
And it was interesting, I didn't know that Park and OSAC were essentially all one and that they were later split out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, every one of our committees kind of goes through an evolutionary phase, like, ProStack. You know, we had a lot of tension because we had Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Trails, that was ProStack, and then we created the Open Space Committee, so the two groups couldn't decide who owned open space. So then we rebranded ProStack to Parks, so they excluded open space, because otherwise there was a lot of overlap and tension of who did what. ACES has gone through a massive transition, where just 5 years ago, they were focused on recycling, like just increasing our recycling. Now we have a decarbonization plan for the town, right? Like 2040, 2050. So each one of our committees, I think, naturally goes through an evolution depending on what's in front of it, people who are on it. And I think it's, at least the board thought it was a good time to sort of reassess 10 years in. 10 years ago, I was thinking about, community art, triptych, and now we've got so many more things that we're doing. And some of these, maybe CAPS doesn't want to do, maybe CAPS wants to do more of something else. So this is a good time to kind of get a pulse. I mean, obviously CAPS is going to help, like, lead some of the conversations around what it wants to do. We go to the board, we'll get any other community input, and then town staff as well. All of this is going to be part of it.
I think too, some of the important pieces of things to point out is that when CAPS was created, there was not an events department. There was not a programming staff person.
Well, we didn't have
facilities to do programming. And my predecessors were event people with some public art experience, whereas I'm more of an arts administrator, coming from that sort of mindset. So there has been so much evolution and change in the town, and I think to Neil's point, it's just, we've had some difficult conversations, especially in and around ideas around programming and the amount of it and who should cover it and who shouldn't, but at the bottom and at the end of the day, they're all really great ideas. They really are. And I guess I say that because in my mind, one of the things I see is that ongoing conversation of what residents of this town want to see and what this group is thinking about, and then figuring out a process for making it happen, whether it comes out of CAPS or it goes to the programming or to the events team or whatever, because I feel like, the mural festival is a good example of how that has come to fruition. So we don't want that to stop, but we also need to potentially hone it in a little bit, because you also have brought up things like SCFD funding. And eligibility with SCFD funding requires a lot of boxes checked.
Yes.
And we're not always checking those boxes. And I think if we're working collaboratively and really thinking outward to those things, then that's possible. But if we're not, it's gonna be really hard to attain that. So those are some of the things that were in my mind with writing this document, but I don't want to get too far into that. I'd really love to hear from CAPS.
Well, I figure the town dictates what we do, and if it's time to change it.
I guess my question is, where as a town, where do we want the ideas for our public spaces and engagement to come from, right? And I'm not asking that with any bias, right? The council could decide. CAPS, or some kind of committee or foundation could say, we've surveyed the people and these are the directions, that we're into now. Or you could give it over entirely to the town, to staff or something, right? Like, I don't think anybody micromanages events really, right? I mean, or, I'm sure we can come up with other examples where it's like, this is a big job. And why would somebody micromanage every single draft or whatever, right? I don't know the answer, but I think that's the question.
Sorry, lost what?
It's the question I've been asking for 4 years. What do we do?
What do we do? Okay.
What do you want to do?
What do we wanna do, or what does the town want us to do, right? You're a resident.
I think it's what the
You're a
town
res-
wants us
You're
to
a
do.
resident, that's not part of this committee, it's not part of this group. Where do you want your town art to come from? Where do you want your programming to come from? Who do you want in charge of that, right? In this pseudo republic.
I think that,
I was only gonna say, I can speak for myself, and I've actually tried not to answer that question.
We know the council's been evading that question.
Right, 'cause I think, like, I like the fact that CAPS has continued to evolve based on who's on.
yeah,
Right, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was about community art, and, drum circles, and, all the different things that we've done. Now, I mean, none of that, if we put this into the charter, those things go away, spontaneity, like, who's on here, what is it that motivates you, they're interested in, how do we get new members to allow CAPS to continue to evolve. That's just kind of my bias, but it does make staff's job like impossible, because they're chasing, 6 different ideas, 12 different ideas every single, every single cycle.
I mean, I do think we have to look at this logistically as well, not just like from a creative standpoint, but, for instance, seeing several resignations in a year, I think it's very hard for everyone involved to rely too heavily on volunteers who are coordinating programming and then leaving spontaneously. So that's just sort of like a realistic thing we all have to think about, is that we are volunteers, we are not paid. Something comes up and we have to bail. And so I don't think it's realistic, even if it's ideal in other ways, to have just volunteers in charge of things that need to be scheduled and planned for. Just my 2 cents.
And there's a lot of validity to that, because, when I joined the board, I looked at OSAC staff would help everything that OSAC does, the trail day, parks, like, staff runs the parks, park committee helps, design the parks. ACES would kind of set a standard, and we have a staffer, CAPS is out there doing everything, like setting up some of the events, coordinating who's going, some of that's transitions to staff. So I completely agree with you, and I think that's part of the nature of how does it evolve.
Yeah. I like to think we stay involved in like the ideas. I just think we need like better framework for implementing them, so that if we have something on the schedule for September that people are getting excited about, and that volunteer can't put it together, that there would be, if staff is in charge, staff would have other people who could step in, right? And then would still go forward. So I think that's
It's a double-edged sword, right? We can't sit here and just be idea people and throw to staff an infinite number of
That's what we're
ideas,
doing.
right?
I know,
The opposite is, well, they don't have time, we'll do it, right? And then we burn it, right? So there's gotta be some middle ground.
But I think there's a happy medium.
Yeah.
I think it's the matter of timing. So, yeah, you can have all the greatest ideas, we may not be able to get to them all this year.
Right.
But we can all work together as staff to add it to the programming list, to add it to the event list, and try to get to it. But I think that's the true purpose of all of the advisory committees, is you're supposed to be the voice of the community.
we're supposed to advise.
Supposed to advise, you're supposed to bring the ideas to staff, to council, to make the important things happen. And I don't think the purpose of this readoption of the resolution isn't to stop that from happening. It's like you said, it's just to hone in the logistics, you guys aren't burning out and feeling like you have to do it for yourselves.
cause what was it last year, there were 30 events, workshops, things.
Oh, yeah.
That was, I think that was sort of
And a bunch of those gotten canceled, but I don't know how far they.
well, and a handful of them did, and some of them were just, too big.
Right.
Things like that, and I think that was probably the realization, at least for me, that we need to come up with a process that sort of works between CAPS, liaison, events team, programming, because, we need to become a well-oiled machine, and again, to Michaela's words, like, we can't just come up with a big to-do list and hand it out. We need to really kind of think more realistically what can work, but I think this group has always had such amazing ideas, and I think to continue the tradition of gathering them and hosting as much as, you know, we can is great. And the other part too is that, you know, looking at your budget, you know, we've kind of gotten into this public art acquisitions budget, but you still have the program budget, you know, to program and do the things that CAPS wants to do, and then also on top of that, possibly make recommendations for an event or for programming to happen at Civic or Community Center.
So is the budget remaining the same then with the resolution, or is it being adjusted, or?
This is the typical, so the 70,000 is
Yeah.
the typical, and the 5,000 is the budget that all of the advisory committees get.
The resolution should not be tied to the
Yeah.
budget, because the budget could change every year, so they should, the resolution should be more of a foundation that will stay pretty consistent over
So
time.
the programming budget would still remain within CAPS then, under this, or?
Every
mean, that-
advisory committee has 5,000.
That's been, those are general fund dollars that have remained the same for as long as I've worked here. Again, it's always up for council approval every year, but that's been pretty consistent.
What wasn't one of the ambitions to try to restructure the budget so that we get better qualification for SCFD and have more?
Yeah, and that's what this is, so that 70-some thousand dollars used to be CIP money, and SCFD does not fund capital projects.
Right.
So by virtue of having your programming separate from your art acquisition, that helps that tremendously. So that $5,000 programming is general fund. And it's not CIP. So that took care of that problem.
I will say that from my seat as an advisor to the council, that feels really wonky. Like, it doesn't feel super efficient to for us to advise the council. I have seen other committees where JG's role is an exec director, and the council or the committee sort of advises that exec director who has more control and authority over that particular department. I mean, I would like to see JG's role elevated. I mean, I feel a little weird that it's both history and art. I would love it to just be art and have somebody else tackle history, because it does feel like we've got so much art programming intention. But as far as I know, there is no other good feedback mechanism for the town residents to figure out what they want on the programming front other than through this committee. As a resident, it often feels like the town drops stuff in our laps and we don't have a lot of say. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's just kind of flat. So I would like to see this committee provide more advisory capacity to a better executive role in JG's seat. Ideally, that's JG, not somebody else, but so that you have more authority and control over the actual programming, and we are advising on what that looks like, not trying to percolate it up to the council outside of town or around town. Because sometimes it feels like we're trying to do stuff around town, and then we don't know what the town is doing on your end either.
So basically, everything goes through JG is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that the way it's supposed to be now?
I think
Am I
the
wrong?
idea of JG being the conduit, yeah,
Right,
the staff
yeah.
liaison should be the conduit.
That's what I thought.
I think that's the example with ACES, you know,
Yeah.
Alexis being the sustainability manager, she's
Right,
the
right.
conduit with all things sustainability, with
But that's what we
Kari
have
open
now, right?
space.
Sort of, or no?
Yeah, but there is, like on this sheet that JG passed out, right, one of the key issues and solutions, right, is that some programs coordinated by arts and history do not evolve through CAPS, and CAPS lacks awareness about those, right? So there isn't a close tie between art programming and CAPS right now, really.
And
We were doing our own, or the town was doing them.
No, I'm
Not-
talking
not
about,
both.
to be clear, we are not in charge currently of if you put on a arts workshop, we're not telling you that's one we want. we put on.
No, that's theirs, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
they don't have to be. I think there's value in you being at least aware of
Right.
things that maybe staff are thinking about doing and getting their
Right.
input and, you know, we don't wanna duplicate, we don't wanna. You know, I think that art is art and you should be aware of what's going on through the town.
Yeah, and I think, you know, having a new programming position for the facilities, you know, we would have to make sure that we get updates from her
yeah, so
too,
couldn't that
so
just
that,
look like updates where we
Yeah.
could like have someone come to
Yeah.
a meeting and be
And
like, here are our ideas, here are your ideas, exchange for 10 minutes, and then.
and that's part of, you know, what we're trying to address here, that we definitely need to increase the communication. So that,
Yeah, and sometimes when staff are doing programs, they don't have a lot of input. They're just,
Doing their best.
or they have an instructor that came to them and said, hey, I have this skill set. Can I do a program? And they're like, well, let's throw it out there and see if people like it, but I think that could be more intentional.
and to that point, which is a really good one, and to the other point of SCFD, that's sort of what I'm envisioning down the road, is that, you know, the ideas that are born in this room and with this group,
Yeah,
we build upon that with the arts and history department and the facility programming. And we're kind of hitting it on multiple heads so that we can use that for such things as SCFD eligibility and eventual, you know, fund asks. You know, like if we're all working together and kind of collaborating, you know, like, for example, with Chris's idea for the film series. We work together so that, you know, maybe some of that budget goes towards workshops about filmmaking, film history. You know, we have educational programming that's built in so that those free films make sense, because alone free films won't check all the eligibility boxes for SCFD, but if we have all this other programming built in around it, absolutely, it's wonderful. So we don't want to not do those wonderful things like the film series,
Right.
but we have to do a little more, and maybe by collaborating, we can help make that happen. And I guess I'm thinking that if we're meeting and thinking and coming up with lists and ideas before the work plans get written for the following year, that could be a way to start working together. It's just a thought.
so basically we would advise the other councils for some suggested events for them to throw, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of this puzzle is the Park and Recreation Committee is trying to figure out what their identity is too, and programming is not something that they've spent a lot of time or energy on, but it can, and so that could be a nice collaborative, you know, they don't just do our programming, obviously, but that is part of what people want to do at the community center and at civic space, so it's kind of built into their role as well. So I don't know, an opportunity for collaboration, perhaps.
I don't see anything really different on here or alarming that, you know, we aren't already supposed to be doing or not doing. I mean, it just kind of itemizes it a little bit better for us.
I think it just gets a little more specific than what it had been in the past.
Yeah.
It was really,
Which
really
is what we
vague.
want. Yeah, we wanted to know what direction. Yeah,
And
we
we-
needed that.
If there's stronger language you wanna put in there, please make those suggestions. These were kind of, like I said, just a starting point, and we did have the attorney look at the resolution, so it's formatted in the correct manner and says all the correct things for an advisory committee, but the essence of what is CAPS is something we can definitely influence.
Whatever structure we land on, I would love to not get any more emails from the town about who I talk to on behalf of the arts community. Because that is way too plastic and rigid. And it just defeats the purpose of us having our personal network brought to bear on behalf of the town.
Yeah, and I think some of those details, I think we'll definitely cover when we go through the guidebook, but again, just reiterating, that if you're talking on behalf of CAPS, that the full committee is aware of what you're doing, and that if you're talking on behalf of CAPS, that you're talking about something that's an approved work plan item and those kind of things. And we can definitely clarify that when we go through the review.
In Robert's rules, I mean, we're not supposed to do that outside unless everybody in CAPS is agreement, you don't send an email out or some misrepresentative of CAPS. I learned that the hard way my first year. Don't do it. It is frustrating, I get it, but that's just government. I don't think we can change that. Can we? I don't think we can.
No.
I mean, the council works the same way.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah, it is government and it does feel like red tape, and we all work within that world and it's not easy, but
It's like three of us getting together at one time, that's,
Super frustrating.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all
Gotta
understand
do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, let's fight that one out next month at the handbook update.
Sure. I mean, it's not a fight. I've never once positioned myself as representing CAPS on behalf of any conversation.
That's right.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be good.
And what, I mean, I'm with you. What is the point? What is the point of getting all these people with all these resources and networks and stuff if we're not allowed to use committee? We just have to understand who we're representing and when and all that. So, I'm with you. So.
yeah, and we're here to help provide feedback and, it's not perfect every time.
Well, my question is, does anyone feel like they're not, I mean, do you guys feel like you're not being able to represent your skill set or something? I mean, does anyone feel that way? No?
Chris does.
You do,
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's been
That's important to address.
there's been a number of occasions where I've had conversations with people in industry that I know, trying to generate some interesting programming or projects or opportunities for the town. And it's received as, well, that was potentially an official communication, don't do that. But that's how these projects start in the first place. You can't start them via committee without knowing that the opportunities are even available.
Yeah, and I think we can review some of those nuances. I think there's a lot of value in making those exploratory, relationships. It's just knowing when not to promise something that hasn't been approved or agreed upon or has funding behind it, so.
Well, Brandon bringing streetlights in would be an example of how, right? He used his connections and that worked out.
But the group knew ahead of time that he was gonna do that.
Yeah. We did, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, but we didn't know if he had a conversation before.
Yeah,
I mean, you get to
you
the point where it's just,
we brought it up.
Right, I think we're allowed to have conversations, we just can't, we can make initial conversations, right, or what is the
And I
guideline?
think these are all the things that
I
we're
mean,
gonna cover.
it's how to work as a committee,
Right,
yet bring your individual talents.
Right.
And that's a balance, and
Yeah.
I think we can work through all of those things where, everybody feels comfortable bringing ideas to the table, but they do bring them to the table so that it is still a committee function. Yeah.
right, gotcha.
All right, with 90 seconds left before they turn the lights off.
Oh, yeah.
I just, real quick, something just jumped into my head. We need to remember to do the frameworks we're starting to come back, come back to pool opening and stuff, so we should.
Yeah.
Put that on the agenda.
We need to arrange. I did drop that off, didn't I?
Yeah. You also need to order some
So-
rain.
Group.
Yeah.
You want to continue our conversation next month, or you want this on the agenda next month?
We are-
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Is that the end of it?
I don't know,
I mean,
I think,
the town creates it, right? And so
It's like,
Yeah,
the
you guys
resolution, I
have,
don't.
wanna email over any specific suggestions, changes?
but I guess before we close this conversation, do you want this topic on the agenda next month as well?
Do we need it?
we're already gonna have Michaela and the handbook conversation next month.
I don't think we need it.
That is, you voted.
That's okay.
It's separate, but it's gonna be a lot of.
It's policies, procedures, logistics,
Right.
it's separate from the reimagining of the resolution.
So do we need another discussion on this, or can,
Well,
Yes.
if they, yeah, because it's 8 o'clock and.
I guess put it on the next one then, because how soon do you guys want this done soon, right?
We're not,
Not in
Oh,
hurry.
not necessarily.
All right, I would like to move that we adjourn this Smart Caps meeting at 8 o'clock p.m. and if not, all in favor?
Hi.
Good night all.
Hi.
10 minutes left.
Recording
stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have.
Yeah, you guys are.
It did start.
Did not before.
Sorry.
See you, Mike.